superstitious people I've ever met are the Mongolians. They have an animist religion and they're incredibly superstitious. On the first day we were in Mongolia, we learned that Mongolians are very superstitious about leaving. You can't leave on a Tuesday, that's bad luck. So in order to leave on Tuesday, you have to leave on Monday, go out 20 minutes, and then come back, and then leave on Tuesday. If you leave on Monday, you have bad spirits, they think you're already gone, and they don't follow you. So it's a little exasperating. They had a lot of other superstitions, like we were horseback riding in Mongolia, and we asked what happens if the horse gets lame. And of course, what you do in Mongolia is you take a rusty knife and you cut the back of the horse's legs, and then you put the horse out in the field for 6 months. If you left the horse out in the field for 6 months, that would cure the lameness, but you know, they're superstitious. So we're traveling across Mongolia, and I really like these people, but it's hard to get over their attachment to this crazy ideas about how things will work out. So about midway through, I got sick. I was throwing up out in the middle of the steppe, throwing up at midnight. And I woke up the next morning, and everyone else continued on the horseback ride, and I was stuck back in camp with the taxi driver, who was our driver, and the interpreter. And they decided that they were going to release the evil spirits. So I was basically just comatose on the ground, and they were getting a cup, and they would put a little piece of paper in it, and they'd light the piece of paper, and that would they would pull out all the oxygen, and then they'd stick it on my body, and it would create suction. And they were cupping me, and I had cup marks all over my body. And then they let me sit, and of course, after a while, I got better. So, about, I guess, a week into the trip, we're miles from any road, from any home, and there's a little gur, which is a yurt, what the Mongolians live in. It's about a 15-foot circumference. It's a tent that can move around in. And so I wake up in the morning in my tent, and I look out the window and I see the women milking the yaks, and no one else is awake. And so I get up and I go into the gur, and as is custom, the mother brings me a cup of salty tea, because they like that. And I'm sitting there, but I don't speak Mongolian. The interpreter isn't there, and they don't speak English. So after a few minutes of awkward silence, they agreed, and I agreed. We will just ignore each other. So I'm a fly on the wall, and they're just living their life. And there's the father and the mother, and the father is staying around because he's going to take us to the dunes later. But I think normally he would be out with the horses. Now the mother goes off the yak to get more yak milk, and the father is playing with the little girl. But that's when I realized they really take their superstition a long way. See, the little girl has a little penis because little boys are very valuable and little girls are not in Mongolia. And so they dress their little boys as girls so the evil spirits won't know there's a little boy. So the father was there playing with the little boy dressed as a girl, and he has no clothes on, and he has a penis, and I'm like, oh, little boy. So it was a very beautiful scene. The father was tickling the baby, and the baby was laughing, and the father was making all the stereotypical cooey kind of sounds that cross cultures. You all understand how to play with a little baby. And then the father put the baby's penis in his mouth. Just like you do anywhere. And in that moment, I knew that it was not a sexual thing. Little boys like penises and mouths. It's just the way we are. As the youngest to the oldest, we like it that way. And this boy liked it, and it was all good. And I guess I overcame my inhibitions about their culture. Thank you.